Hi, GenderBlenders. Welcome to week 80. And this week's question asks, if you were stranded on a desert island with no one around, would you still feel the need to transition? Medically? Surgically? If so, and how far would you go? If not, then why? I'm Steffi, and this week's question is an interesting topic, as most of the topics that we do here on GenderBlenders are. That it has a lot of bones in it, doesn't it? Because, this asks if we're all alone, if we're stranded on a desert island, would we behave differently than if we're out in the open and surrounded by other people? Well, if I'm all alone, what do I have? Certainly, I've got my hormones with me. I don't go anywhere without them. They're important to me. They're part and parcel of my life. And there within lies part of the answer for this week's question, at least from my perspective. But this asks a question, is our need to transition, is it intrinsic? Is it of itself? Would I need to transition if I were all alone? But that opens up yet another thorny question, and that is, I'll just name it. It opens the issue as to how much of this, what we are, how much of this is a choice, and how much is necessity. Because that's what it's asking, isn't it? If you didn't have to do this, if you weren't surrounded by other people, would you still do it or not? For me, there is really only one answer to that question. Yes, I would do it. This is a necessity. This is not a choice. We have to do what we're doing in order to live and to serve and to help others and to do whatever you hold dear. Because it's necessary. It is a part of us. I know. I spent 62 years trying to discover it. Medical issues. For me, that's really, really, really easy. On one of these GenderBlenders, I'm going to get out and drop back into engineer mode and drag out my Excel spreadsheet that shows my blood pressure and my weight and everything else as a function of time. And what happened when I started my transition, and what happened when I began hormones, and what happened when the girl emerged, and what happened to my health, because I have it all documented. For me, medical issues alone dictate that I have to do this. I'm pretty much convinced I would be pushing up daisies right about now had I not done this. Instead, I feel like I'm 20 or so years younger. Surgical choices. When I was partway through transition, early into my transition, I used to think, I'm 63. Well, now I'm 64. It's a few days ago, but I'm 64. I used to think, why bother? Why should I bother with all that expense and the possibility of something going wrong at my age? But that urge to become complete and to become the woman that I need to be has become stronger and stronger and stronger, not weaker. So, the surgical choices how far would I go? Oh boy, there is just no way you're going to stop me in this transition. I think I've mentioned that in a couple Gender Blender videos. I know I've mentioned it in a couple times in my own YouTube channel videos. There's no way that I'm going to stop this transition for any reason whatsoever. I'm happier than I've ever been in my life, ever. This transition is a necessary thing for me. It has helped me so much, and has helped me to help others around me as well. And that makes me feel doubly good. Because, that's probably just me, but, I like it when I'm able to help other folks. I like that. That's intrinsically me. And I'm pretty good at, some of the things that I do. I'm not so good at others, but I'm pretty good at some of the things that I do. And, helping people is so vital to me. And now with my health back, I can do that even more than I could before. Makes a lot of difference, folks. So how far would I go? I would go the whole way if I had to grow the tree, to build the boat, to get off that desert island, to go get my surgery, or whatever I had to do to be complete as a woman. Because that's what I need to be. So that's some very interesting things. How far would I go? The whole way. If not, then why? If not, oh goodness, I can't even imagine myself wanting to, or even considering for a split nanosecond, not following through in this transition. You've watched some folks progress. You've watched some folks ahead of me. You're watching some folks behind me in their own individual transition. And I think you see that the folks that, are going through their transitions end up being pretty happy, don't they? And those folks who are just beginning are wondering and they're scared and they don't know what's ahead of them. I know what's ahead of me. Why? Because I see what has changed in me over this last 15 months. And I've seen how much I've changed. And I see people who used to know me but haven't seen me for a while completely fail to recognize me. And that is just so cool. And I see people who don't know me and take me for a woman. And that is so pleasing. It's just so pleasing. You can't imagine how good that makes me feel. So, we need to do this. This isn't a choice. We have to do this. So, if I were stranded on a desert island, what would I do? I would continue with my transition, and I would wreak all kinds of havoc, making sure that that happened. So I hope this has been fun for you this week. Until next week, this is Steffi saying thanks for watching, and bye-bye everyone.